Namaskar. Let us start with a universal invocation. Before universal invocation, with a pranam mantra, we'll start. Om. 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 O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Let us meditate 1 minute. Thank you. Welcome back. Today we will study a very interesting letters. Actually, letter number 27, 20, 29. It is relating to K. Damodar Mavalnkar, a very senior theosophist and a disciple of one of our inner founder, Master K.H. Before we proceed this subject, this K. Damodar Mavalnkar, he was a uh, very interesting individual. Like Blavatsky has connection with a Master M, Annie Besant has connection with the Master M, and also Henry Steele Alcott also with a Master M. But this gentleman has direct connection with Master KH. How KH saved his life, as well as he is the only person after Blavatsky uh, entered entered into that ashram, Tibetan ashram, where masters live, and stayed there. Of course, the way he went there, as well as how he stayed there, and that is all mysticals. So, before we start reading actually this Damodar K. Mavalnkar, there is a very interesting book. It is known as Damodar and the Pioneers of Theosophical Movement, compiled and annotated Sven Ick, an author who mentioned many things about Damodar. And by reading this book, it will create some kind of interest within us. How K. Damodar K. Mavalnkar uh, was a great theosophist linked with one of our inner founder, Master Cage, how he entered into Tibetan ashram in his physical body, and he is the only person after Blavatsky who was given permission to enter in the ashram. So what I am planning, I am projecting some PPT so that you can go through that side by side. I will explain other things also. Sorry, now it is okay. So this portion of letters are from letters from the Masters of the Wisdom first series. And the chapter relating to letter 2 and about Damodar K. Mavalnkar, letter number 26 to 29. Actually, this was not initially notified because of Brother Adi Kesav Sastri. He is supposed to start this interesting book known as The Master, but he immediately just yesterday developed a throat infection as well as fever, viral fever. So today morning he uh, informed me regarding his position so that it is immediately arrangement so that we can have some kind of uh, interaction satsanga, spiritual satsanga. So this is the letter series already always taken by Brother Tendulkar, but it is in the last moment. One cannot approach a member like Brother Tendulkar. So this is the position we are starting here. So this is the letter. So let us start with this uh, PowerPoint project projection. You can mark Brother K. Damodar, left side. You just watch his figure, very slim, and you look the eyes, which a piercing eyes he is looking, and also in an armchair he was sitting. It's two figures available for the members of Theosophical Society in different books so that you can know a person like Damodar K. Mavalnkar. Then next is Damodar K. Mavalnkar because the letters are so interesting. So you should know how a person is so much advanced in spiritual progress so that Mahatma uh, uh, rather invited, not it is uh, the way his spiritual development has reached. He was allowed to enter physically into the ashram of Mahatmas. So Damodar K. Mavalnkar was one of the India's quiet heroes. Quiet hero means nobody knows the theosophist. There are many great theosophists at present also. Nobody knows them. They are quiet heroes. What is their role? They are doing a lot of work for spiritual civilization. What is spiritual development? Civilization means progress, creating atmosphere for the progress of the spiritual progress of the humanity. That is spiritual civilization. So K. Damodar Mavalnkar was one of the India's quiet heroes who lent luster to a spiritual civilization. Damodar was born at Ahmedabad in Gujarat. At that time, Gujarat is not a separate state. It is within the Maharashtra, bigger state. In Gujarat, he belonged to a 1857, actually born on 1857, and all the family of Karhada, Maharashtra Brahmin caste, and received a sound English education to which his writings bear testimony. So he has a quite good English knowledge to understand different theosophical books. In fact, we require minimum knowledge in English to know the difficult difficult language for some of us, difficult language to understand this theosophical text. So that is Damodar. Next slide is, in his childhood, Damodar had a critical illness and the doctor despaired of his life. When the family expected him to die at any moment, the lad, means Damodar, had a vision which made a deep impression upon him. So Damodar, almost everyone in the family left hope that he may not be survived. But he has a connection with the spiritual guru. So that was the vision which made him deep impression upon him. He saw, as if in a dream, a glorious personage who gave him a peculiar medicine, and amazingly, from that time the boy began to recover. Some years later, while engaged in meditation, he saw the identical personage and recognized him as his savior. So, before one joined Theosophical Society, here is a person who was saved by saved by the savior, the Mahatmas, who has given some kind of medicine in a dream, and he recovered fully. And this glorious person again visible to him when he was in meditation. So you see the interesting links between the spiritual teacher and one of the very senior disciple of Mahatma. So many people have many peculiar dreams in their vision, and sometimes it worked. Knowingly or unknowingly, dreams will come and it will work, and it has its own effect. So Damodar, now, before joining or before knowing anything about Theosophical Society, he has vision of a great teacher. He has vision of that teacher. Not only vision, but he cured by that teacher, because some future work he is supposed to do. At this time, Damodar, then interesting thing like Anivescent, Damodar also read the book like this, Isis on Bell. Damodar read a book entitled Isis on Bell written by the co-founder of the Theosophical Society, H.P. Blavatsky, who in 1878 had moved the headquarters of the society from New York to Bombay, India. Sorry. So, 1878, Theosophical Society shifted from Bombay to, from New York to Bombay. And at that time, Madam Blavatsky completed writing Isis Unveiled. And this was given to, or Damodar managed to get copy of it, and it changed his life. This book made a powerful impression upon him, and he hastened to pay his respect to Madame Blavatsky and all her associates. All her associates like Henry Steele Alcott, W. George, and others who are a very close link with H.P. Blavatsky. So after going through that ISIS unveil, it created a deep impression upon the mind of Damodar, and Damodar as a deep respect to Blavatsky. So we'll go to the next slide. He found that the man who, in his vision, had thrice saved his life is one of the adepts who had founded this society. You see, thrice he was saved. Thrice um, uh, Damodar was saved by the masters. And after reading, after the society shifted from New York to India, to Bombay, then he gone through the ISIS unveil. Then only he recognized that this is the person who saved his life. Damodar became a member of Theosophical Society. Even still today, you will see FTS, Fellow of Theosophical Society. It is written in diploma. So Damodar became a member of Theosophical Society known as FTS, Fellow of Theosophical Society. For 6 years, until he went to Tibet, was a most active Hindu figure in the movement. The movement means Theosophical Society movement. He is one of the most active member among the Hindus in Theosophical Society movement. As a manager of the publishing department of the society, was partly responsible for the magazine The Theosophist. If you mark the Theosophist, it is published 1879, and at that time the Damodar was the manager of the publishing department. You see the important post, the manager was under Damodar K. Mavalnkar. So Damodar, after that, he left for Tibet. Before we taken this letter, let us see the how Damodar reached the Tibet. Very interesting uh, description. Actually, it is a small pocket diary with the available with the coolies who accompany him to the border. Border means India or Tibet border, Bhutan border, Darjeeling. That is the border. In that border, the coolie who was taken Damodar to the border, and before he crossed the border, Damodar handed over that pocket diary to the coolie, and coolie subsequently handed over to Alcott. So Alcott writes, but before we start the actual reading of the discussion or study of the 4 letters, let us have some kind of knowledge how he reached the ashram and what is the position at that time. Damodar K. Mavalnkar is one of the best known characters in the early Indian history of the Theosophical Society and has been frequently mentioned in the course of this memory. He left Adair, Alcott says, when Alcott was in Burma. And for the last time on 23rd February 1885 for Calcutta, then with the intention he was going to Tibet via Darjeeling. This is the 36 days before HBB own final departure from the Europe. So there are 4 persons on this side of the Himalayas had voices in this matter, of whom three were H.P.B. Blavatsky, T. Subbarao, and and Maji. Maji, I don't know who Maji is, of Banaras. The chief agent, of course, was H.P. Blavatsky. And Subbarao having merely some question to be answered, Maji some clairvoyant information to give. The name of the fourth party I shall not mention, but merely say that he is equally well known on both sides of the mountain, means Indian side as well as Tibetan side, in between India and Tibet. So the Damodar entered the Tibet journey started on February 23rd, 1885. And he traveled a lot. I am just the last sentences, means the last entry, which Damodar made in his pocket diary. I mentioned that on April 23rd, 1885, April 185, then Damodar taken bhat, means rice, in the morning and proceeded on from Kabi alone. Kabi is a place, sending back things with the police to Darjeeling. So that was the last day when the Damodar, interestingly, Damodar left this physical world to the other side of the mountain. Here the diary ends, Alcott wrote. And this is the last written trace of this devoted. See how what Mahatma described Alcott, what many things have described many people, even who, there are many still now are very devoted persons of Theosophical Society. Here, Alcott mentioned, here a diary ends, and this is the last written trace of this devoted, high-minded, enthusiastic young Brahmin, whose record since joining H.P.B. Blavatsky and myself at Bombay, myself means Alcott, is one of unbroken energy, and unfaltering zeal, unfaltering zeal in the cause of the humanity. So what is our position? We are all workers of the Theosophical Society, doing work for the society, for the cause of the humanity. We should have an unbroken energy and unflattering zeal. Unflattering means our zeal should continue. There should be no flattering, etc. A nobler heart never beat. A nobler heart never beat in a human breast, and his departure was one of the hardest blows we have ever received. You see how Theosophical Society members are required for the cause, required for the work, or required for the movement of Theosophical Society. And any kind of a departure, from this work is a blow to the Theosophical Society. Among us, there are many workers. Suppose anyone who will leave the organization to go to other, or anyway, if he is not available, it gives some kind of problem, some kind of blow to the progress of Theosophical Society. So here, Alcott mentioned that Damodar departure was one of the hardest blows we ever received. He was almost broken down his constitution. Alcott at that time was president. Then Blavatsky was another co-founder. He was corresponding secretary or some kind of international secretary position. And he is the manager of a Theosophical publishing house. So he mentioned that Damodar broken down his constitution, means his body constitution, by incessant official work. Incessant official work. And when living Adair had begun to spit blood and show signs of rapid decline, you see, when he started his journey to Tibet, it was almost a very, very critical condition Damodar was facing. He almost broken down his constitution by insistent official work. And, and when living Adair had begun to spit blood and show signs of rapid decline, yet with undaunted courage, we have many problems in our life. Every day and morning to evening, we will face problems of many kind of tension or many kinds of mental or physical level. But he has, in spite of all these problems, he has a undaunted courage. He undertook the hard journey across Himalayas, indifferent to the biting clothes, indifferent to the beating cold, the drifting snow, the lack of shelter and food, intent upon reaching the Guru, intent upon reaching the Mahatma, whom he had first seen in his youth when lying on a sick bed, of whom he had lost sight for many years, but whom he had recovered soon after joining the Theosophical Society. As his spiritual faculties developed, he was able to seek him in the Sukma Sarira. What made him so devoted, attached, and unswervingly loyal to H.P. Blavatsky was the discovery that this Guru was one of the adepts behind the Theosophical Society movement, the intimate associate of Upasika. So, this relationship between Theosophical Society and Blavatsky is the link of the great teacher, because he is a disciple of great teacher. A great teacher saved him when he was in sick bed, when thrice he also saved him. So that is the link. And now even we all are Theosophy's members, serious student of Theosophy. Somehow other we have a connection with the great teacher. That is the reason we are so devoted to the organization, to the cause, to the development of regeneration of humanity. So this is all about this interesting person, which is necessary to know a little about Damodar. It is a very big, voluminous book. So we'll go to the next slide. This is letter number 26. It is a very small letter. It is written directly by Great One. Damodar, I want you to have this followed by Subbaram's statement. Subbaram, I am not sure who is this gentleman. Maybe Subbarao or anyway. But interesting, you may take out something else from the supplement. My point is, the letter, then there are some supplementary anything. So Mahatma mentioned everything is important for us. Take something from here and there, something. And in Mahatma letters also, we always be aware of each sentence. Each sentence is important. Each sentence creates some kind of an impression. The more we study, more we think over it, ponder over it, and meditate upon it, we will get more out of that. So then letter number 27. Here, real advice given to not only to Damodar, but each serious student of Theosophical Society. Here I kindly say, do not feel so dejected, my poor boy. No need for that. As Mr. Sinnett rightly say in his Esoteric Buddhism, a book that is known as Esoteric Buddhism, the higher spiritual progress must be accompanied by intellectual development on a parallel line. Kindly see the wordings Mahatma used here. The higher spiritual progress must be accompanied by intellectual development on a parallel line. What is that? Higher spiritual progress means our spiritual faculty like Atma and Buddhi. Those intuition and Atmics, those are faculties are in a uh, are in a limited position. That is not flower. That is not developed. So it requires development. It requires development. Then only our consciousness will be expanded. So that is the higher spiritual progress. It requires development. But for the member of Theosophical Society, how it will develop? That is interesting. How it will develop the higher spiritual progress? It needs intellectual development. Parallel line of intellectual development, Mahatma says. That means you have to study. Without study, there is no question of any kind of a spiritual development. Study, meditation, service. Three things everywhere, everything, every time you will mark. So these three things will lead you to spiritual, higher spiritual progress. So first thing is study. So the more you study, more you meditate, that is the development, intellectual development. So intellectual development and spiritual progress are in a parallel line. Parallel line means equal line it should go. So the more you have spiritual progress, the more you will be learned. The more you will be learned, then the side by side, your progress will be fast. Your progress means your atmic and intuitive faculty will be more expanded, more it will develop. So that is this sentence, this slide 27 says. Then we'll go to the next slide. You have now the best opportunity for doing that where you are working. At that time, what Damodar was working, he was manager of publishing house, the Theosophists. So also, we as a member of Theosophical Society, we have many responsibility to progress to how to popularize Theosophy, how to publish a magazine, how to reach the people by our article, by our different way of working, so that the people will know. So this is our best opportunity. Each member of Theosophical Society in this modern age, they have their responsibility, they have their opportunity. So wherever we are, whatever we are doing, this is our best opportunity for doing. Mahatma says this is your best opportunity for doing that where you are working, either working in the office or in the your publishing house or as a membership department, whatever position you have given, that is your opportunity to work. For your devotion and unselfish labor, two things. Devotion and labor is must be not selfish. Unselfish labor, you are receiving help, silent though it be. Mahatma here mentioned that the way you are working, that must be devoted, devotion to the organization, devotion to the masters, devotion to the uh, cause. Cause means development of the humanity, regeneration of humanity. These are the cause. So that is the devotion, and your work must be unselfish. इसमें the labor में स्वार्थ नहीं होना चाहिए. Simple swarth will like a poison, it will destroy everything. So unselfish labor, you are receiving help. What is the help? Kindly imagine, suppose someone is working very sincerely, devoted, without any selfish interest. What help he is receiving? His help is spiritual unfoldment. His atmic faculty, his intuition faculty will be expanded. He will be more benevolent force to the humanity. His all other faculties will be developed. Slowly, his anger, jealousy will be reduced, and he will be more helpful to the humanity, to the life around him, and he will be more progress in the line of a spiritual journey. Your time has not yet come. When it does, it shall be communicated to. Here, probably, Damodar requesting uh, his journey to meet Mahatma, like many of us also interested to meet Mahatma, etc. At that time, there are more people who are interested to meet physically. Then subsequent letter says no need of visiting physical because he is everywhere. He is within you and without you. So no need of visit. So here, because they have a plan that Damodar will come to Tibet, some work is there. So Mahatma mentioned that your time is not yet come. When it does, it shall be communicated to you. So no need of worry of how to meet or how to interact with Mahatmas or how to receive his information. When we are ready, it will come automatically. They will communicate it. Till then, Mahatma mentioned, make the best of the present favorable opportunity to improve yourself intellectually while developing your intuition. Two things Mahatma mentioned. Till you get the direct link or indirect link or other communication, till you get that, you make the best of the present favorable opportunity. What are the favorable opportunity for you? That you are getting lot of spiritual books to study. That is your intellectual development. Improve yourself intellectually. While intellectually you will improve, side by side, that must be reflected in your nature. आपका अंदर में जो प्रकृति है ना, ये थोड़ा परिवर्तन होना चाहिए. ये by study, unless it is reflected in your day-to-day life, there is no intellectual, there is no development of intuition. Because it is side by side, if intuition is not developed, you will get more egoistic, you will be more angry, your I-ness will be remain as it is. So Mahatma mentioned that till this is your favorable time, opportunity, improve yourself intellectually. Means little you are now reading nothing, start reading. Studying little. Then slowly improve your knowledge. Slowly meditate upon that. The moment you start meditating, moment you start thinking, as you think, so you become. As you think, you will become like that. What you think, you will become. So, the more you study, more you develop intellectually. While developing intellectually, you must be aware that your intuition must be developed. Means you must practice what you studied so that it become your nature. That will help you. Then we will go to the next slide. Remember that no effort is ever lost. Whatever effort you have done in this at present, means whatever spiritual faculty, whatever spiritual nature you are doing, whatever spiritual work you are doing, that is not lost. It will come, it will rather enhance more and more. No effort is ever lost, and that for an occultist, for a theosophist, there is no past, present, future, but an ever and eternal now. So For a student of theosophy, those who are in the path of spiritual path, the progress is always there. They will proceed further and further and further. And this progress is eternal. You are progressing fast. You are progressing, continuing. So for that you will there is no question of any past, no question of any future or present. Your progress uh, is always there. That is eternal progress. So here Mahatma giving an hints that your effort will never lose. Suppose in this life you have advanced, suppose about 50% spiritual development. So this 50% will be remain as it is. So next life you will start 50%. So there is no past, no future has gone, past has gone, so present. So this progress is always eternal. This is one kind of interpretation that progress we have made in the spiritual field. So it has no past, no future. It is always eternal. Side by side, every moment, if you are progressing in a in a spiritual manner, so that is your eternal progress. That is your always you will be advanced. So this is an important sentence for your mind to think over, ponder over, meditate on. So what is it? It is that, what is that which will make you eternal? There is no past behind, no future, no present, but eternal now. Then we will go to the next letter, letter number 27. It is written to on Damodar to one Franz Hartmann. Here Mahatma mentioned Damodar undoubtedly has many faults and weaknesses as others have. All the members of Theosophical Society, whether a top or a newly fresh joined, all has many faults. So like Damodar. But he is unselfishly devoted to us and to the cause and has rendered himself extremely useful to Upasika. So Mahatma mentioned, even if a man has many faults, many things but he is unselfishly devoted to Mahatma. Unselfish. There is no selfishness in the Mahatma, devotion to Mahatma. Uh, and to the cause. What is the cause? Cause is the regeneration of humanity. What Mahatma has been doing for the progress of the humanity. So that is the cause. So that cause we should have in our heart. Two things, each member who was here or those who will listen subsequently, uh, they should have our of two things: unselfishly devoted to the inner founders, those who have formed the Theosophical Society, and to the cause. Cause means regeneration or spiritual progress of the humanity. These two things. I mean, interesting thing. We have almost 20 or 20 more than 20 members attending. But you will mark there are more than 700 subscribers for this channel, this Theosophy India. So after few days, not only many, all I will mark if there are more than 100 members subsequently watching this YouTube Theosophy India channel. So like that, don't be disheartened for this small attendance of this program, because the more and more days will pass, the people will observe more and more of your this Theosophy India channel. So anyway, that is the, so we should have two things within us: unselfishly devoted to our inner founders and to the cause for which the society was formed. And we should be helpful to our organization in whatever manner is possible. Here, helpful, useful to the Upasika, but we must be helpful to the Theosophical Society. Then his presence and assistance are indispensable, necessary for at the headquarters. So this is all about this slide. We'll go to his inner self has no desire to domineer, though the outward acts now and then gets the coloring from his excessive zeal, which he indiscriminately brings to bear upon everything, whether small or great. There are many outside problems with Damodar, but within his heart, he is not interested to dominate on other things, dominate other things. So, the Mahatma, who is well aware of the past, future, and present, and he is well known to read our heart. So, he said he has no desire to domineer. The next point in this slide, it must be remembered that inadequate as our instruments may be to our full purpose, they are at the best available. It was there at that time when 1875, when the society was formed. So also it is now. The best available person is given the opportunity. They are the instruments Mahatma using us even now. Even if we are inadequate, even if we are not but not like Blavatsky or Alcott or Annie Besant or Radhaji, but we are still the instruments which Mahatma requires for us to do, and we are the best available person. Whether we are in here or Guwahati or Delhi or Bombay, wherever we are the best available person. We should take the favorable opportunity and do our best for the society. Next, we will go to the next slide. Since they are but the evolution of the times, why we are, because of the evolution of the times, we are here. It depends upon us how to progress. It would be most desirable to have better mediums for us to act through. Mahatma, here he mentioned that it is a better, if there are many better students, we can have a better person. And rest with the well-wishers of the theosophical cause. How far they will work unselfishly to assist in her higher work and thus hasten the approach of the eventful day. Blessings to all faithful workers at the headquarters. Here, Mahatma, who is a headquarters, is known as a master's home. Mahatma here mentioned that they require better instruments, better mediums for the Theosophical Society. But depending of the evolution, depending of the stage of the evolution, the workers available to them. Then he said, blessings to all faithful workers at the headquarters. The next slide is the last slide. We will complete this. The poor boy has had his fall. When Damodar has had his fall, means defects are there. So he will have some kind of problem. Before he could stand fast in the presence of the master, he had to undergo the severest trial that a neophyte ever through to atone for the many questionable doing in which he had overzealously taken part, bringing disgrace upon the sacred science and its adept. This is always happening. We are all neophytes, means we are not much advanced in the spiritual progress. So before reaching the presence of the masters, we have to go severe trials. Uh, so many things we will do, questionable things by overzealously taking, and it will create disgrace upon the sacred science and its adepts. Sometimes, by excessive zeal to work for the Theosophical Society, we will get misunderstood, we will get criticized, many things will happen to us. But this is also our stage of evolution. Then we will go to the next. The mental and physical suffering was too much for his weak frame, which has been quite prostrated, but he will recover in course of time. Mental and physical suffering of the Damodar. Uh, This ought to be warning to you all. You have believed not wisely but too well. To unlock the gates of mystery, you must not only lead a life of strict probity, but learn to discriminate truth from falsehood. And at the feet of Master Mahatma advice also. Discrimination between truth and falsehood and strictest probity, spiritual progress. You need very pious, unselfishness, spiritual way of living. You have talked great deal about karma, but hardly realized that the true significance of the doctrine. We are always very enthusiastically will speak this karma, that karma, parabdha, etc. Many types of karma, but we have not aware of the real significance of that doctrine. So we'll go to the next slide. The time is come when you must lay the foundation of the strict conduct of the individual as well as the collective body, whichever workful guard against conscious as well as unconscious deception. So we must be aware. We must be aware of the this deception. Deception means that will create problem for present as well as future. So each individual, as a member of Theosophical Society, as a collective body, we should be have a strict conduct, strict foundation for the conduct. Ever wakeful, ever watchful, guard against conscious and unconscious deception. We must be guard against conscious and deception. Thank you, brother, for watching this very interesting three, rather four letters as well as side by side the role of Damodar and how he proceeded to Tibet. Thank you very much. Now it is day. Thank you very much. Namaste. Now I request Sister Minaki to complete her translation.
सभी को प्रणाम. थैंक यू ब्रदर महापात्र जी. आज हम महात्मा लेटर्स ले रहे हैं जो कि दामोदर के मावलनकर के ऊपर है. दामोदर का जन्म गुजरात के अहमदाबाद शहर में 1857 को हुआ. वे करहाड़ महाराष्ट्रीय ब्राह्मण थे और धनी परिवार से थे. उन्होंने अंग्रेजी में अच्छा शिक्षण प्राप्त किया था, जिसकी गवाही उनके लेखन से मिलती है. बचपन में उन्हें जानलेवा बीमारी हो गई थी और डॉक्टर भी हताश हो गए थे. जब उनके परिवार को लगा कि उनकी मृत्यु किसी भी क्षण हो सकती है, तब दामोदर को एक सपना आया जिसका उन पर गहरा प्रभाव हुआ. सपने में उन्होंने एक तेजस्वी व्यक्ति को देखा जिन्होंने उन्हें एक अनोखी दवा दी और आश्चर्यजनक रूप से वे ठीक होने लगे. कुछ साल बाद ध्यान के दौरान उन्होंने उन्हीं महात्मा को देखा और उन्होंने अपनी जान बचाने वाले महात्मा को पहचान लिया. इसी दौरान दामोदर ने थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी की सह संस्थापिका मैडम ब्लेवेट्स की लिखित आइसिस अनवील्ड यह पुस्तक पढ़ी. HPB 1878 में थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी के मुख्यालय को न्यूयॉर्क से भारत में बम्बई स्थानांतरित किया था. इस पुस्तक ने उन पर गहरा प्रभाव डाला और तुरंत मैडम ब्लेवेट्स्की और उनके सहयोगियों के प्रति आदर सम्मान व्यक्त करने गए. उन्हें ज्ञात हुआ कि उनके सपने में आकर 3 बार उनकी जान बचाने वाले व्यक्ति थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी के इनर फाउंडर्स में से एक महात्मा थे. दामोदर इसके बाद थियोसॉफिकल सोसाइटी के फेलो सदस्य बने और तिब्बत जाने से पूर्व 6 साल तक थियोसॉफी के आंदोलन में सबसे सक्रिय हिंदू सभासद थे. सोसाइटी के प्रकाशन विभाग के मैनेजर के रूप में उन्होंने कुछ हद तक थियोसॉफिस्ट मैगजीन की जिम्मेदारी उठाई. लेटर नंबर 26, यह पत्र मास्टर के एच दामोदर को लिखते हैं। वे कहते हैं कि दामोदर, मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप इसके बाद सुब्रम का स्टेटमेंट यानी उनका लेख दे, और आप थियोसॉफिस्ट सप्लीमेंट से चाहे कुछ और भी निकाल सकते हैं। अगला लेटर नंबर 27 है, जिसमें मास्टर कहते हैं कि मेरे अभागे बच्चे, इतना मायूस ना हो, इसकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है। जैसे कि मिस्टर सिनेट ने अपने इsoteric बुद्धिज्म किताब में ठीक ही कहा है, उच्चतर आध्यात्मिक प्रगति बौद्धिक विकास के साथ साथ होनी चाहिए। जहां आप कार्य कर रहे हैं, वहां इसके लिए आपको बहुत अच्छा अवसर प्रदान हुआ है। आपकी समर्पितता और निस्वार्थपूर्ण श्रम के लिए आपके अनजाने आपको सहायता मिल रही है। आपका समय अभी आया नहीं है। जब वह आएगा तब आपको सूचित किया जाएगा। तब तक आपकी अंतःप्रज्ञा को विकसित करते हुए बौद्धिक रूप से खुद को बेहतर विकसित करने के लिए वर्तमान अनुकूल अवसर का अधिक से अधिक लाभ उठाए। याद रखें कि कोई भी प्रयास कभी भी व्यर्थ नहीं जाता है, और एक साधक के लिए कोई भूतकाल, वर्तमान काल या भविष्य काल नहीं होता है, बल्कि नित्य चिरंतनता रहती है। अगला पत्र है, मास्टर के एच फ्रांस हार्टमैन को लिखते हैं। दामोदर की विशेषता के बारे में वे लिखते हैं। मास्टर कहते हैं कि दामोदर निस्संदेह औरों की तरह निस्संदेह दामोदर में औरों की तरह अनेक दोष और कमजोरियां हैं, लेकिन वह निस्वार्थ रूप से हमारे लिए और हमारे कार्य के लिए निरंतर समर्पित है, और उसने स्वयं को उपासिका यानी एचपीबी के लिए अत्यंत उपयोगी बना लिया है। हेडक्वार्टर्स में उसकी उपस्थिति और सहायता अत्यावश्यक है। उसके अंतर्मन में दूसरों पर वर्चस्व करने की कोई चाह नहीं है, हालांकि बाह्यतः कभी कभी अत्यधिक उत्साह से ऐसा हो जाता है, जो वह अविचार पूर्वक सभी छोटे बड़े कार्यों में करता है। हालांकि यह याद रखे कि हमारे साधन यानी माध्यम चाहे हमारे पूर्ण उद्देश्य पूर्ति के लिए अपूर्ण हो, फिर भी वे सबसे उत्तम है, क्योंकि वे युगों से विकसनशील है। हमारे लिए कार्य करने के लिए बेहतर माध्यम होना श्रेयस्कर होगा, और यह थियोसॉफी के उद्देश्यों के शुभ चिंतकों पर निर्भर करता है कि वे एचपीबी के उच्च कार्य में सहायता करने के लिए निस्वार्थता से कितना कार्य करेंगे, और इस तरह उस शुभ दिन की ओर तेजी से अग्रसर होंगे। हेडक्वार्टर्स के सभी निष्ठावान कार्यकर्ताओं को शुभाशीर्वाद। अगले लेटर में मास्टर कहते हैं कि बेचारे लड़के पर मुश्किलें आन पड़ी। मास्टर्स के समक्ष खड़े रहने से पूर्व उसे उन सभी कड़े परीक्षणों से गुजरना पड़ा, जिससे कि एक नवसाधक कभी गुजरा था। अति उत्साह से किए गए कई शंकास्पद कार्यों का, जिससे पवित्र विद्या और उसके महात्मा गणों पर सिद्ध हस्तों पर आँच आई, उसे प्रायश्चित करना पड़ा। उसके कमजोर शरीर के लिए, जो काफी थका हुआ था, मानसिक और शारीरिक पीड़ा बहुत अधिक तीव्र थी, लेकिन समय के साथ वह ठीक हो जाएगा। यह आप सभी के लिए एक चेतावनी होनी चाहिए। रहस्य के द्वार खोलने के लिए आपको न केवल सबसे सख्त सत्यनिष्ठता का जीवन व्यतीत करना चाहिए, बल्कि सत्य और असत्य के बीच पहचान करना सीखना चाहिए। आपने कर्म के बारे में बहुत कुछ बोला है, लेकिन उस सिद्धांत के बारे में सही महत्व को शायद ही कभी समझा है। वह समय आ गया है जब प्रत्येक मेंबर के साथ साथ सामूहिक तौर पर भी आपको उस सख्त आचरण की नींव रखनी होगी। जो सदैव दक्ष रहकर, जागृत रहकर, जाने और अनजाने धोखे से रक्षा करता है। थैंक यू। नमस्ते।
Thank you, Meenakshi ji. As usual, very nice presentation. Now I request anyone is ask anyone like to ask any questions. There are very serious students available, like Professor C.A. Sinde. He can add something, or Madhav ji. As usual, you can ask any questions if you like. If anything is not there, then we will close this session. Yes, sir. Sine sir, kuch he is like to add something.
Nothing to add, but
Sir.
you have explained very sincerely, and all the letters are very obvious that we must devote for the cause. But that is what we must remember, as you told. And no spiritual progress remains unnoticed. No spiritual progress goes in vain. These are important points. Once we understand this, then there comes the confidence. And definitely, these masters of the wisdom are behind the Theosophical Society. And if we read the history of Damodar Mavalnkar and letters written to him, guidance given to him, definitely it is guidance for all of us. It is really a very nice letter. One must read and have confidence. Then only we can devote to the Theosophical Society. See what J. Krishnamurti said. Man is very easily deceives himself. Man very easily deceives himself. And also, he can convince himself also. Very easily he can convince himself. So we must convince ourselves for to devote this cause, which is a great cause, to uplift the humanity. That is what this letter in all explains to us. Pradip Mahapatra has explained very nicely, and we enjoyed it. And one more thing, Pradip.
Yes, sir.
I was unable to open my laptop.
And
I put it on boot, and I heard everything on the mobile. And when the whole thing is finished, then now laptop has started. So this is
added a very nice things that
this is a patience. We have to have patience in everything, and we should have an alternate also. That is what it is. I understood this experience. Thank you very much for your lecture, and even Meenakshi also gave very nice translation. Thank you, Meenakshi and Pradeep, both of you. Thank you.
Yes, Madhavji, or we will close. Yes, Mitalinji, now you the closing prayer.
Namaste to all. असतो मा सत्कमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मां अमृतंगमय सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु न कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you.